Just a record. Share when ready. Okey doke.
Okay, so this was the plat that we did the location inset for the other day.
All right.
Uh, and I have a separate page here for the access easement to the property.
Okay.
And I plotted a grid. And this is the same point as this.
Okay.
So why isn't my easting showing up
Uh,
on here, and why isn't my northing showing up here?
well, let's see. Let me get control. Let's see here. If we all right, so when you plot your grid, like you're basically you tell it where to place these, you like place all the northings and then place all the eastings, and you have to tell it,
Yeah, and then I move them around.
yeah. So you've got a northing here and an easting there. Let me restore your layers back. So you've got a northing here and an easting there, but you want that northing to be down here
Oh,
also.
okay, I see. I just need to move this northing over to there.
Ah, there it is. Yeah. If you turn your yeah, okay.
Now it should be, uh, well, now where's the easting?
Well, let's take a look at it. First of all, go back to access easement and let's see what this is set to be as 1 to 100 annotation scale. All right, so
Let me ask you a question about that. Uh, I've
yeah,
got two different
please.
scales going on here. I've got a 1 inch to 100 scale on the access easement, and I've got a 1 inch to 150 scale on the final plat. When I'm working on either page in the model, do I have to change the text? Should I be changing the text to whatever it is?
No, not necessarily. It's just what when you're working in it here and you want to see it like it's normally going to be on the plot that you're doing, then you could come down here and either set it here, or you could go up to your drawing setup and then set your scale up there, and that'll make this follow with it. Um, so what's probably happened is that you drew one of these at one point, maybe one time you were in here when you did it, or at a different scale. So you've got these different text elements. So here's a piece of text and it says, yes, it's annotative and it has an annotative scale of 1 to 150. But if we want to show up at 1 to 100, well, it shows it there. All right, so let me come back to here. And let's see, this isn't showing up at all up here.
Well, it's too far up.
Oh, okay.
It's,
Oh, you put X's along the line?
well, they were actually in the drawing that I got from Allegheny. I just left them there.
Okay. All right, we'll leave them alone. We'll say there. All right, so now this is interesting. Let's go back to this. This is on grid text. This is on grid. And if we are here, that's on grid text. That's on grid text. It's on grid. All right, so this text, yes, annotated 150. Yes, annotated 150. So now it's right justified. Make it left justified. We'll move back up. Now, if we change that to be, see, that's why, so that one that was, see down here is because when it is at 100 scale, it needs to be moved up into position.
Okay.
That's why you saw this one and were able to move it over. Now there should be a couple more, like here's one way up here.
Well, that one I'm not using. Let me show you let me show you my final plat here.
Okay.
The there are only two I'm using on the final plat on this page, and those are those two. So what I do, I make a grid, and then I bring the labels in close to the X. And
Yeah.
well, here's one here I need to get rid of.
Or at least move it. And you've also got some things like,
Well, those are from the Allegheny drawing.
okay. As long as you know that they're not partials or something like that, so you can you'll need to fix that text size and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, whoops. Now, all right, so you've got these two. Now, if you're showing one this close to this way in the northing, it probably should also be shown in the easting, but that's neither here nor there. Like you could take this, what are we? 418, C2, so you're 500 feet. So if you were to copy that from here to say at 500 comma 0, then that would be that one, but then this would be, whoops,
Well, I'm just required to show two grid ticks on the drawing.
okay.
And I don't even know what they use them for. I don't think they use them for anything.
Probably not. It's good leftover.
Let
All
me-
right,
let me-
so those are there now. Back over here now. See, we're sitting at this at 100 scale now, so you could, you could copy things around and move them and size them such that they would. That's the way they would show up on 100 scale. See, like up here's an easting that's probably, you know, down in here somewhere on your 150 scale. See, at each scale, these things all have different positions. Yeah, here on the end. You got another one there that you might want to, you know, if you were showing these. Now they're not showing up, so they're out of sight, out of mind, so it's okay. And then, but then this one, and that's why they're out of position, is because they were created at one scale. And then when you change scales, they stay anchored at their insertion point and change their size. And so that's why it was,
Okay, well,
down.
that page is at 150. So what will that look like when I go back to the final plat?
Well, if you go set this back to 150, it looks like they're moved into position now. So if we look on the final plat, those are good there. We look on the access easement, you've got the one. Where's the 22500? This one. All right, let's change that back to one. Why it didn't stay where I put it?
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
Yes, it's supposed to be. Now it's supposed to stay there. One fifty scale. Or at 100 scale. See, I'm at 100 scale now.
Okay, well, that part of the drawing's at 1 inch to 150.
Yeah, but it's not like you're not throwing one away. They exist in two different places. If if you look at this, so now if you go to select this, see how it's got all of the different sizes that are defined for that show up ghosted here. So you've got the one, two, there looks like a third one. And then same thing for like for this one. See, those are all the different positions and sizes where they're defined. So if now I'm going to turn that preview back off because it just gets in the way. All right, so now there it is at 1 to 100. There's at 1 to 150. I know why, I know why it didn't do it. Is because this, I did this one, but really this is the one we want. Turn this on. All right, so at 1 inch equals 100 feet, this is where they show up, and then you're gonna need one of the, there's another easting somewhere. If you want it up there. But it's probably not showing up on the 100 scale, right?
Right.
That would be up here.
Yeah, well, that one's off of my drawing anyway. It's not showing up.
So when you're at 150, you get these. So those are good, these are good. Everything's good there. And when we switch it to 100, we get just the one is the only one that shows up, right?
Right.
Okay. All over here's that one that was sort of stray. Might as well move it into position. In case you ever change the boundary of it. All right, so there they are. Here's this one. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And if we you got another one down here that you don't need. It's probably up or down from, say maybe you had one in the middle there, and that was where that one was a stray. All right, so that's at 100. This is 150. Let's also isolate those. That looks good. Okay. So final plat. There's your two coordinates. I don't see any strays. Access easement. There's the one with no strays. All right.
Weird.
Yeah. Welcome to AutoCAD. Yeah. And you got things like this is in this.
Well, that's from the Allegheny drawing, and I just left all of that stuff the way it is because it doesn't really matter to me.
All right.
I know it's got to be deeply offensive to you, but
No, no, no. Don't think that at all. The key is, Mike, if you can get this submitted, approved, and paid for, you've succeeded. That's the bottom line. But you do, however, I have to say, and I'll keep bragging on you, you do make a nice looking set of plats.
well,
So,
thank you. I appreciate that comment.
yeah, well, it's, it shows, and that's something you don't get out of engineers, but you get out of surveyors more so. The surveyors tend to be the artists in the bunch. So it's nice. It's nice when it happens. So anyway, Anything else?
No, sir, that's it.
Wow. All righty. Well, we will let that be that. I'll send you a link so you can refer to it, but it'll be a short video, but at least it'll be there if you need it.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Take
Have a
good,
good evening.
you do the same. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.